This episode of Checking In With is sponsored by Pizza Packet. Enjoyed by millions nationwide, Pizza Packet provides portion-controlled, prepackaged spice and Parmesan packets. Made with only premium quality ingredients, Pizza Packet is the most convenient and most cost-effective way to provide added value to your customers. During these challenging times, every penny counts. Pizza Packet saves you time and money and is a much more hygienic and sanitary option over dirty shakers. Check out pizzapacket.com for all of your packaging needs.
Hey there, welcome to Checking In With. I am your host, Jeremy White, Editor-in-Chief of Pizza Today magazine. Today, I'm joined by Denise Greer, Executive Editor of Pizza Today. Hey, Denise.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Let's get this show on the road. We got an interesting guest.
We do. We're joined today as well by Mr. Tony Troiano, JB Alberto's in Chicago, Illinois, one of the busiest pizzerias in the entire nation. That's pretty cool. How about that, Tony? How about that?
Yeah, well, yeah, we work hard at what we do. Thanks for the compliment, but there's a lot of great places out there. So, but
there definitely are. There definitely are. You know, Tony, I was in your pizzeria for the first time ever a few summers ago on a visit to Chicago. You showed me all around. We hung out for an interview and all that. But what blew my mind, Denise, I can't even begin to tell you how many people. It was like a beehive. How many people were in this kitchen between maybe someone dressing a dough, someone working an oven, the delivery drivers going out for orders. The amount of delivery you do, Tony, is absolutely insane. It was like being in a factory. It was unlike any pizza kitchen I had ever seen. The amount of staff running around in the kitchen was mind-boggling. How in the world do you manage that?
Well, you know what? It's kind of funny you say that because one of my buddies who came in recently said it looks like an anthill. Everyone's just kind of crawling over each other, but it's really organized chaos. I mean, as busy as we are, everybody knows what they have to do, and it's a lot more systemized than it appears because it looks like chaos, but it's really everybody knows exactly what they're doing at that time. So, organized chaos is how I would put it.
Yeah, it didn't look chaotic to me. It looked like a well-oiled machine. Everyone did have a task at hand. They knew what they were doing. There was no confusion. I certainly didn't mean to make it sound as though it were chaotic. It was just energetic and just the sheer volume of people. I'm going a lot of pizza kitchens, as you know, and I'm sure you do too. And you just don't see that many people in a pizza kitchen, generally speaking.
Well, the chaos would have really came if you would have came on like a Friday or Saturday night. I think you were there on like a Monday or a Tuesday. So it gets the chaos really ramps up. So
Denise, I was in there on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday afternoon. It was midweek afternoon. It was kind of the dead period between lunch and dinner, 3 p.m. And it was that busy. I can't imagine a Friday night pizza night around the country. I can't imagine that. How many delivery drivers do you have on your staff?
Well, so on a Friday or Saturday night, we'll be probably in the low 30s, 30 to 32, 33, somewhere around there.
Wow.
Depends. You get a few call-ins for, sick call-ins or something. So 30 would be a minimum. 35 is good. Sometimes it's 28. You never know what, kind of the luck of the draw sometimes, but.
And then when you add in, someone's got to take these orders. Somebody's got to make the pizza, right? It's not just delivery drivers. How many people on a busy Friday night in general are in there working?
Inside we'll have in the 40s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're squeezed. We're tight. We're doing this all in 3,000 square feet. So It's pretty, forced intimacy is another way. We're kind of like all kind of smashed together. So
now, with the pandemic, I saw JB Alberto's pre-pandemic. Can you still have 40 people in there at a time right now?
Well, it's been challenging, and it's been challenging for everybody. The crazy thing was that we got 20% busier with 2 hours. I cut 2 hours off the end of the day because once I realized once the bars closed, all your late night kind of fell off. Sure. But as I think Tony Troiano said, it was like called it bedroom hours because people were like eating at different hours. They were like having dinner at like 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe in bed by 10, because especially when the pandemic started, everybody was a little off, a little scared, a little bit of everything. So, so we were doing 20% more volume, 30% less staff because people were just scared.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could just see the fear in their eyes, and they were just like, I just don't feel comfortable coming in, and I have to respect that, I mean, I can't,
Sure.
can't tell people what to do. So it was crazier, but I mean, I was there open to close every day, on the line with my staff. So, we took all the precautions possible. Social distancing in a really busy kitchen is a major challenge.
Yes.
Especially when you're working kind of elbow to elbow, but a ton of sanitizing, masks by everybody, even though everybody tried to buck the system, and slide, you start by sliding it past your nose, then it becomes, becomes a chin guard, but, and then it's down to here. It's like, all right, guys, it's got to be up, it's got to be worn the right way or it's useless. So, but that being said, a lot more sanitizing, a ton of hand washing constantly, like drivers, we had all sorts of, changing on the fly like everyone else had to rules and regulations. You walk in, you wash your hands before you leave, wash your hands, sanitizers in their cars, in between deliveries, sanitize. It's some things you can't manage, but as many things as we could, we did.
Do you feel like you're in a rhythm now with it?
Oh yeah, I think things have normalized now. Yeah. I mean, when the pandemic just hit, I think everybody was in like crazy mode, and the outpouring of support we got from the community was incredible. I mean, I couldn't thank them enough. Almost to the point sometimes where we were so busy, it was like, we had to take the phones off the hooks. If I couldn't guarantee them good service in a reasonable amount of time, as supportive as they want to be, they would still be upset. So I didn't want to do that. So, there were times when we had to do that, but now I see a normalizing of things as we speak, because there's a lot of patios open in Chicago, but dining rooms are still at 25%, and it's going to get cold quickly in Chicago. So, that remains to be seen. And I feel for all my dining room and bar guys, because I have a lot of friends in full service fine dining, and they're hurting, and it sucks. It really does.
It definitely does. Denise, we keep hearing that over and over again from a lot of people. Sales are up 30%, but our workforce is down 20%.
Yeah.
You're finding a way to make it happen. You already had a lot of systems in place, but I'm assuming that the only way you can pull that off, an uptick in sales and a downswing in labor, is through systemization.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had to, everyone had to turn it up a notch. I think, I was watching Scott's interview yesterday, who's a great buddy of mine. I love Scott.
Yeah, that's right.
And he said, you try to get 10% more out of people. And, like I said, when the pandemic hit, as the captain of the ship, let's say, you got to be there. I was there from open to close, not my preference, because I like to take a little bit more time off. I've been doing this for over 40 years. So, I mean, I try to take, a long time. That just means I'm really old. But, I was trying to get a little bit more out of each employee. And like I said, when you're there working side by side with them, try to take their mind off of what's really going on and just make some jokes, keep them moving, keep them smiling, and just keep the morale of the staff up. I think that was key, along with me, working my tail off right next to these guys, and gals all day long. I think they felt that, hey, Tony's in here doing this with us all day. This is great. And, like I said, joke around, keep it light, as light as possible.
How is the morale right now?
Now I think we're pretty much back to normal. I mean, we've kind of adapted to what the new normal is, so, changes along the way. But the staff is, I'm actually pretty well staffed right now. I had a rough time for the first 3 months, real rough time. But I think ever since that additional $600 stimulus money stopped, people came out of the woodwork and started looking for work. And I got, I had a great staff, but I was a little short. So I added to an already great staff with some really great people. And I'm very fortunate in that respect.
Good.
Yeah. Do you think, because you had such a streamlined business where you're high volume, I mean, before the pandemic, you were so high volume. Are there any learning opportunities where been able to streamline your business even more with the pandemic? Some things that you've kind of learned and adapted to?
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly learning, even though we've been doing this for a long time. Every time I walk in, I'll constantly talking to my managers and my staff, not just my managers, people answering the phones, people, working on the line, everything. And yeah, I mean, we're constantly learning, we're constantly changing. Curbside was something we never did before, but when the demand came, we adapted. Contactless deliveries, something that we really never did. Had to kind of retrain the drivers and say, hey, here's how you have to do it. Want you to put this down here, ring the doorbell, read the directions well, do all the little things good. So yeah, those are some things we had to adapt. Technology, we kind of ramped things up on that side.
What kinds of things did you bring in as far as technology wise? Did you add any new technology into your operation?
Well, you know what? Here's kind of in a nutshell. I had a bunch of third-party delivery services, and I kind of jumped on the bandwagon several years ago because everyone was kind of doing it, and I said, hey, maybe this is the way to go. Once you realized that they're taking the lion's share of the profit, and more importantly, grabbing that data, which to me is where the gold is at, because there's a lot of great pizzerias and a lot of great pizza out there. You have to be, like somebody said, hey, I'm in the marketing business. I just happen to sell pizza, and really that's really what it comes down to, because a lot of great pizzerias in Chicago is an extremely competitive market. You got to stand out somehow. So technology wise, what did I do? My goal was always to eliminate these third parties because like I said, lion's share of the work, they're taking the lion's share of the profit. I don't like that, and capturing that data. So we ramped up. This actually started about a year ago when I got into a real not pleasant conversation, let's say, with Grubhub, with the head of sales of Grubhub. And I knew at that point I had to get rid of all these, but I wanted to do it smart. And so it started about a year ago. I really ramped up my website because my website did look like it was from the 90s, and that did not look good. So got that changed. Then I streamlined my my online ordering system through Hunger Rush and really kind of mimicked the way Grubhub did theirs, because I figured if they put so much time and technology and processes into figuring that out, if I could just mimic that. So I copied a lot of the things, and Hunger Rush worked really well with me in figuring that all out. So I made a real streamlined online ordering system. So I got all my pieces in place. This was pre-pandemic, so I just didn't know. I mean, again, the timing was right. And then once the pandemic hit and we were so busy, I had dropped the other third-party vendors, but the last one was Grubhub, and I got rid of them also. And that was it. So we've it's just been that's the main thing there is that I didn't want to give away all that additional money that we worked so hard for, because we know margins are tight. Yeah. And giving 15-18% to these guys is insane. So
what percentage of your orders come to you via online ordering right now?
Right now we're about 35-38%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all through jbalbertos.com. So those are all direct.
Has there been any change since the pandemic hit? Is it still the same volume? I know your sales are up, but is it still roughly the same percentage of orders as compared to call in and walk in?
No, that's definitely increased too. And I think a lot of that has to do with people working at home in front of their computers all day. So it's right. Like, come dinner time, hey, it's like 5 o'clock. Hey, let's just boom, boom, boom. We're in front of the computer anyway. Let's just place that order. So yeah, definitely an uptick for sure.
Are you doing anything to drive consumers to that? Are you actively marketing or advertising? Are you asking your customers, being insert in the pizza box, what have you? Are you asking them to order online?
Well, so one of the things we do is I'll do some direct mail advertising, or email advertising, I should say, where the orders have to, so it'll be a discount. Let's say it's a $3 discount. I hate to do deep discounts, but I just thought it was a time when it was appropriate because I was trying to get rid of the other third parties. And let's face it, Grubhub is a marketing company. They don't have a kitchen. You know, all they can do is they're great on the marketing side, they're great on the IT side, and they're great on the marketing side. So I had to fight that. So, and the only thing they could fight it with is dollars. You know, hey, here's $12 off your first order. And that's just to grab data. So I wanted to continue to grab more data. So every time they place an order with us, I'm grabbing these email addresses. And then I would email market to those. So that's been extremely successful.
Wow.
Yeah, data is very important.
It's the goal. Yeah. And unfortunately, there's so many operators that grab all this data, they grab these email addresses, and then they never follow up. I make sure I work through Moving Targets, obviously a company that you guys know very well. And they've been great. So I do my email marketing through them, very reasonably priced, you know, a couple times a month, just to be top of mind, just to be, you know, in my customer's face all the time. Because if Grubhub's throwing something out there, you know, one of my arguments with Grubhub was like, you know, when I told them I was going to leave, they said, hey, we'll just redirect those customers to another pizzeria. And that was like the tipping point. We're like, oh my God, they actually have the power to do that. I got to grab that data and make sure that I can fight that fire with fire. So.
Now, has your customer base changed any with COVID-19 as far as, you know, now that people are working from home, do you kind of have this new customer base coming in?
I don't know if it's a new customer base. I think ordering habits have changed slightly. I think my per ticket order, my order average has increased because there was a little bit less walk-in, especially at the beginning, and was more delivery. Now people are venturing out a lot more. So at the beginning, I would say, you know, yeah, definitely, you know, larger orders, because, you know, if somebody wanted to come in and grab a couple, let's say it's a single person sitting at home, they want to come in and grab a couple slices and go home. That's a smaller ticket sale, you know, a $6, $7 sale, where now if they got to get a 12-inch pizza delivered to their house, now it's, you know, it's a $15, $16 sale. So yeah, my ticket average increased. And I think, you know, comfort food, people were looking for some comfort. So, you know, desserts, you know, I always do the suggestive selling. So right when you go to checkout on my online ordering, they have, you know, they automatically get, there's like a list of 10, you know, where my profit margins are a little bit higher, 10 items. And if they didn't order one of those, it'll automatically try to upsell them to one of those right before checkout. So yes, you know, oh, we forgot the soda. Oh, those hot wings, I had them last time, they were great. Let's throw 10 on, you know, or a brownie or any, you know, dessert, anything like that. So
yeah, when you take that into consideration, why wouldn't any pizzeria owner try to get their customers to order online versus phone walk-in? But it's a no-brainer, it seems like.
Right. The phones don't ring and the orders come through. And you know when it really came in handy? When people, you know, when some of my staff was afraid to come in and we were short-staffed and there was like a little longer wait times on the phones. And, you know, my automatic messaging says, you know, you can order online at jbalbertos.com while you're putting them on hold. So a lot of people were just probably doing that at the same time. And there was a major uptick. And then when that happened, I gained email addresses. So I got that golden data that I wanted. So it was really kind of it was a good thing. It was a win-win for us personally.
Yeah. You know, we talked to Scott Sandler from Pizza Head in St. Louis, and he had told us a while back that his business went from 90+% slices to whole pies virtually overnight. Sounds like that you always sold a lot of whole pies anyway by virtue of delivery. But are you also? It sounds like you're also experiencing the slice sales down and the whole pie sales up.
Yeah, anytime you lose the foot traffic, yeah, because slices is definitely a grab and go type food. You know, so people were just driving by, grab a couple slices on the road. We're going to the kids soccer game or whatever the event was, and so yeah, but obviously bigger margins on the whole pies.
Right.
So, or bigger ticket price, not necessarily margins, bigger ticket price.
Right.
Yeah.
Denise, we probably need to let Tony get to his whatever Tony's doing today in the great city of Chicago. I'm going to guess you're probably going into the pizzeria.
I will be shortly. So we're fortunate enough to have, we don't open till 4 p.m. So we go from 4 till, now 11 o'clock. Used to be 1 a.m., but now till 11 o'clock. So I got a couple hours, hang out yet. So
Denise, any parting shots, last minute questions?
The one thing that I think a lot of people are curious about, because I think everybody has these questions, what's top of mind for you as we head into fall and winter? What's on your mind, and what are you, thinking about and working towards?
Well, that's a good question, because I really think we're going to see another uptick in sales because at least in the Chicago market, we're only at 25% for dining rooms. And as you know, in Chicago, it's going to start getting cold very soon. So, the beauty and the romance of sitting outside and dining outside, which I love to do also, is going to get kind of uncomfortable in the next month.
Yeah.
So I think that, if they don't do something, and I really hope they do, because it's not about me. I want all the guys to do good. I want all the restaurants and, bars and everything to start getting back to normal. But if that doesn't happen, I think we're going to see another uptick because, people, they don't always want to cook at home. I mean, and that's what we're here for. So.
Well, we can tell you that you're already probably ready for whatever that uptick is, right?
Yeah, we're ready to roll. Yeah, we have to be.
Good. Well, that's awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking time today and sharing, what you've been going through at JB Alberto's, and look forward to, getting out and getting back to Chicago so I can come to your restaurant.
Well, I hope so.
Go Cubbies.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go
Cubbies. There you go. I know you're a huge Cub fan. Yeah.
That's right.
I know. Yeah, Cubs and the Sox, man. The Sox are looking really good too.
They're both doing great.
They're both doing great.
No one can go watch.
Yes, I know.
The cardboard cutouts can, though.
Yeah. I know, that's crazy, isn't it? I still can't get over that. I can't get used to that still.
Is there, last question, is there a Tony cardboard cutout in one of those two baseball stadiums?
No, it's not. The funny thing is I'm more of a Cubs fan, but my boys are diehard Sox fans. Like, what a diehard Sox fan is? Like, they love when the Cubs lose,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to deal with in my house.
If you put those boys up for adoption, I wouldn't blame you at this point if they're diehards. I wouldn't blame you.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. Hey, Tony, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure, guys. Great seeing you.
Take
You
care,
too.
Tony.
See ya.
All
Take
right.
care. See ya.
Bye-bye.